All right, get ready, because we're about to journey back to ancient China for this deep dive.
Oh, I love this.
We are going to be cracking open the Yellow Emperor's classic of internal medicine.
Classic.
Specifically, Chapter 66,
Okay.
the great treatise on the heavenly yuan cycle.
This chapter's amazing.
It's
It's like a cosmic Rosetta Stone, translating this language of the universe.
Yeah.
The Earth, even our bodies, through these amazing energy cycles.
It really is like the Yellow Emperor himself sat down with us and was like, let's ponder life's big questions.
I love that visual.
How do the 5 elements, the 3 yin and 3 yang, and
Right.
in even time, how do they all intertwine?
Yeah, and what's fascinating is that his expert, Qi Yuqu, doesn't just give these like vague philosophical answers.
Right.
He's like, transformation is the driving force behind everything.
Oh, interesting.
And he breaks it down into clear stages, too. Creation, culmination, the mystery of yin-yang interaction.
Okay.
And then get this, sagehood?
Hold on, Sage.
Sagehood. The point where applying this knowledge, it becomes limitless.
So we're not just talking about understanding these cycles, we're talking about, like, mastering them.
Exactly. And it's not all abstract, like, concepts either.
Okay.
This chapter gets surprisingly specific about how each element manifests differently in heaven,
Right.
on Earth, and even within us.
Give me an example.
Okay, so divine energy in heaven, that's like the wind. On Earth, it's like wood. And in us, it's the Tao.
Okay, break that down for me. The Tao, like the path, the way.
Exactly. It's a whole philosophical concept.
There's a whole philosophical concept on its own.
But here in this chapter, it's presented as this internal energy connecting us to the universal flow.
Right.
It's like we each have this inner compass guiding us towards alignment with the cosmos.
Whoa, I'm feeling a bit more centered just thinking about it.
Me too.
So we've got the 5 elements, we've got this concept of sagehood,
Right.
we've got the Tao as like an internal force.
Yeah.
What about yin and yang? I feel like most people have a very basic understanding of it.
Yeah, super basic.
But this text seems to go like way deeper.
It goes way deeper.
Yeah.
You're right. Most people think of it as like light and dark, good and bad.
Simple opposites.
Opposites. And the Yellow Emperor's classic flips the script.
How so?
It says that each actually contains the seed of the other,
Oh, wow.
constantly interacting in these incredible cycles.
So instead of viewing them as opposing forces, it's more like they're constantly balancing each other out.
Balancing. That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And get this. Heaven's energy operates in cycles of 6,
Okay.
while Earth follows cycles of 5.
Interesting.
They even have a governing fire and a ministerial fire, almost like a cosmic management team.
Wait, a cosmic management team?
I know, right?
That's an image I won't soon forget. How does this all play out in the real world, though?
Yeah.
How do these energies actually influence us down here?
Well, think about it. It takes 720 cycles of Qi for heaven to make a full rotation.
Okay.
That's 30 years.
30 years.
A complete Earth cycle is 60 years.
Wow.
This is why ancient cultures were so obsessed with observing the stars.
It wasn't just stargazing. They were trying to decipher the grand cosmic clock.
Yes. Imagine your entire life might just be a tiny blip in one of these massive cycles.
Makes you think about time in a whole new way.
It does. And what's crucial to understand is that this wisdom wasn't just for emperors and scholars.
Yeah.
It was meant to guide everyone.
Interesting.
From, farmers deciding when to plant their crops
Right.
to individuals seeking greater harmony.
So understanding these cycles isn't just about abstract knowledge.
No.
It's about making better choices in our own lives.
Exactly.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
Good.
But how do we apply this knowledge?
Yeah.
What does it actually mean for someone listening to this deep dive right now?
Okay, well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The text gives us specific examples of how these energies manifest in different years. For instance, years that start with Jia and Ji.
Okay.
Those are governed by Earth energy.
And Bing and Xin years are all about water.
You got it.
Yeah.
But what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, what does it mean for a year to be governed by a particular energy?
That's a great question, and it leads us to this fascinating aspect of this ancient wisdom, the concept of governing and ministerial fire.
Oh,
It's like the universe has this organizational structure, this balance of power, right? And that's where governing fire and ministerial fire come into play.
so not just a cosmic management team, but a whole system of like cosmic checks and balances.
Exactly.
Okay, what do these fires represent though?
So think of governing fire as that like spark of creation, the driving force behind action, expansion. It's associated with the sun, with warmth,
Yeah.
that impulse to like go out and make things happen.
So the energy that pushes us to start new projects, take risks.
Yes, be bold.
Yeah.
Ministerial fire, on the other hand, that's more about structure, stability.
Oh.
It's the energy that helps us maintain order. Right.
Refine our creations, ensure things run smoothly.
Ah. So it's like the yin to governing fire's yang.
You got it.
One pushes us forward, the other helps us ground ourselves.
Exactly. And this interplay is everywhere.
Where?
Look at nature.
Yeah.
Spring bursts forth with new life. That's governing fire time.
Makes sense.
Then summer comes along, matures, ripens. That reflects ministerial fire's influence.
Okay.
It's all about these cycles and balance.
And you're saying we can see this same dynamic within ourselves?
Absolutely. Think about your own creative process, right?
Yeah.
You have that initial burst of inspiration.
Right.
Boom, governing fire.
Yeah.
Then you got to sit down, refine, structure your ideas.
Hello, ministerial fire.
There it is.
Okay, that's a really helpful way to visualize it.
Glad to hear it.
But how do these fires tie into the larger cycles we were talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Those 30 and 60-year cycles.
It's like these fires aren't static.
Right.
They ebb and flow within those larger cycles.
Right. Sometimes governing fires dominant, leading to periods of rapid growth, change. Other times, ministerial fire takes the lead, encouraging us to consolidate, reflect, refine.
So knowing which fire is in charge can help us understand the overall energy of, say, a particular year.
Totally.
And then make choices that are more aligned with that flow.
Precisely. It's like having this cosmic roadmap.
Yeah.
Helping you navigate those ups and downs.
Okay, that's fascinating. So is there a way to figure out which fire is dominant in a given year?
So the text doesn't give us the simple formula, but it emphasizes that these cycles are constantly interacting.
Okay.
It's less about predicting the future and more about developing that sense of awareness, attuning ourselves to those subtle shifts in energy.
So it's more about recognizing the patterns and adapting our approach as needed.
Exactly. It's about working with the natural rhythms, right? Rather than trying to force things.
Right.
Remember we were talking about how years that start with Jia and Ji are governed by earth energy?
Right. And Bing and Xin years are influenced by water energy, but I'm still not clear on what that actually means for someone born in one of those years.
Yeah, okay, so let's think about it. Earth energy is all about stability, grounding, building that solid foundation, right?
Okay.
Someone born in a Jia or Ji year might have a natural affinity for creating structure, working with their hands, pursuing practical matters.
So if you're thinking about starting a new business or making a major financial decision,
oh yeah,
those Earth years might offer a more supportive energy for that kind of thing.
Exactly. Now, water energy, on the other hand, is much more fluid, adaptable, right?
Okay.
It's about emotional intelligence, intuition, going with the flow.
Interesting.
Someone born in a Bing or Xin year, they might be drawn to creative pursuits, communication, or fields where adaptability is key.
Okay, that makes sense. So each year has its own unique energetic fingerprint, influencing our strengths and challenges.
Exactly.
What about those other energies we touched on earlier, Cheyenne and Juayan?
Ah, yes. Those are part of the 3 yin and 3 yang, and they each have their own specific qualities that can influence our experiences.
Right.
Remember, Shaoyan is associated with beginnings, like that seed sprouting in spring.
And Cheyenne is about endings, like the leaves falling in autumn. But is there more to it than that?
Absolutely. Each of these energies is linked to a specific element and season, adding another layer of nuance to their influence.
Okay.
For instance, Shuayan, which is associated with wood and wind.
Right.
It encourages us to let go, to release what no longer serves us, to create space for new beginnings.
So it's not just about passively accepting endings. It's about consciously using that energy to clear the way for growth.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this ancient wisdom can be incredibly empowering.
It really is.
And this is where it gets interesting for you, the listener, right? Think about your own life.
Yes.
Your own rhythms. Have there been times when you felt this strong urge to let go of things, to clear out the clutter, to end relationships? You know, thinking back, last fall, I did this massive purge of my apartment. I ended a relationship that had run its course. I even switched careers.
Wow.
It felt like this huge wave of change. And now that you mention it, it was during autumn.
That's a perfect example of how these energies can manifest in our lives.
Oh, wow.
And by understanding these patterns, we can not only ride the waves of change more gracefully,
Right.
but also potentially make choices that are more aligned with that natural flow.
Okay, I'm totally hooked now. Tell me more about those other yin and yang energies, Xiao Yang, Yang Ming, Tai Yang. What are their vibes? How can we use that knowledge to our advantage?
Okay, so think of Xiaoyang as that energy of springtime,
Okay.
associated with wood and new beginnings.
Right.
It's a time for planting seeds, taking risks, embracing new opportunities.
So if you're thinking about starting a new project, launching a new venture,
Oh, yeah.
a Xiaoyang year might offer that, like, boost of creative energy
Right.
and sense of optimism.
Totally.
Then we have Yang Ming linked with late summer and metal. This energy is all about clarity, focus, bringing things to fruition.
Yes.
It's a time for refining your ideas, setting boundaries, making those tough decisions.
Love it.
So if you need to buckle down and get things done,
Yes.
a Yang Ming year might be just what you need.
It's like the universe is giving you that cosmic deadline.
Right.
And finally, we have Taiyang, which is associated with winter and water.
Okay.
This energy is about introspection, stillness, going inward. It's a time for rest, reflection, connecting with your inner wisdom.
So if you're feeling burned out or overwhelmed,
Yeah.
a Taiyang year might be a good time to slow down,
Right.
recharge, and listen to your intuition.
Absolutely. Each of these energies offers unique gifts and challenges.
Right.
And by understanding them, we can potentially make choices that are more aligned with that natural flow of the universe.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. This
Correct.
is like a whole new level of self-awareness and understanding.
I'm glad to hear it.
But with all this information, where does the listener even begin to apply it? It feels like there's so much to learn. It's a lot to take in, isn't it?
It is, but it's so fascinating.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like I've just had like a cosmic brain upgrade.
Me too.
Who knew ancient Chinese medicine held such profound insights about like the universe,
Right.
ourselves?
It's remarkable, isn't it, how the Yellow Emperor's classic connects those seemingly, separate realms.
Yeah.
The cycles of the heavens,
Right.
the rhythms of nature, the
Right.
energies within each of us.
And that's what I find so empowering about this whole concept.
That's it.
That we're not just like passengers on this cosmic ride. We actually have a say in how we navigate it.
I love that, yeah, by understanding these energies and cycles, we can make choices that are more aligned with that flow rather than constantly swimming upstream.
Right. Imagine knowing when to push forward with a new project, when to focus on consolidating your games,
Right.
when to just rest and recharge.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for life, helping us understand those subtle energetic shifts that influence our experiences.
It really is.
But I have to ask, if this wisdom is so valuable,
Yeah.
why don't we hear about it more in our modern world?
I think it speaks to the fast-paced, often disconnected nature of modern life.
It does.
Like we're so focused on schedules,
Yes.
deadlines, and just the external world that we've lost touch with those deeper, subtler rhythms that have guided humanity for like millennia.
I agree.
Like we've traded our cosmic compass for a GPS. And I wonder if we've lost our way a little bit.
It's possible.
But maybe by rediscovering these ancient principles, we can start to find our way back to a more balanced and harmonious existence.
I hope so too. And the beauty of the Yellow Emperor's Classic is that it's not just a theoretical thing.
Right.
It's a practical guide for living for our listeners who are, eager to start applying this knowledge. Where would you suggest they begin?
Well, first, I think it's helpful to take a moment and just reflect on what resonated with you during this deep dive. Which concepts sparked your curiosity? What insights felt particularly relevant to your own life?
Love it.
And then I would encourage you to do a little digging.
Okay.
Find out what year you were born in, look up the characteristics of the 5 elements, and see if you can start to recognize those influences in your own personality, your strengths, your challenges.
That's a fantastic suggestion. And remember, this is a lifelong journey.
It is.
The more you learn about these cycles and energies, the more you'll start to see them everywhere.
It's like learning a new language, the language of the cosmos.
Yes.
And the more fluent we become, the more we can understand those subtle messages and guidance the universe is constantly sending our way.
Beautifully said. So for our listeners who are feeling inspired to delve even deeper, seek out resources on Chinese medicine, explore the Yellow Emperor's Classic itself, and maybe even connect with a practitioner who can offer personalized guidance.
And hey, if you're feeling really adventurous, maybe even try incorporating some of these principles into your daily life.
Oh, so.
Pay attention to the seasons. Notice how your energy levels shift throughout the year.
Yeah.
See if you can make choices that are more aligned with that natural flow.
Who knows? You might be surprised at the shifts that can occur when you start to align yourself with the rhythms of the universe.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling energized and inspired.
Me too.
It's like we've just scratched the surface.
I'm a vast body of knowledge.
The Yellow Emperor's classic is truly a timeless treasure,
It is.
offering profound insights that are just as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago.
Absolutely.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and empowered you to explore this ancient wisdom further. Until next time, keep seeking, keep learning, and keep aligning yourselves with the incredible rhythms of the universe.